now bring in Senior Advisor to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Ron Vitello. Ron, always good to have you. Walk us through this. I mean, and let's start with the troops. How will the deployment of these 3,000 additional troops help reinforce what's already going on at the border, you think?
Well, this will aid in situational awareness. Those soldiers will be watching the line for us. They have equipment. They can communicate what they're seeing to Border Patrol agents who can respond. But the Secretary's X post was exactly what we want to do. We want to have complete situational awareness so that we can have operational control of the border. What that means is we know everything that's happening and no one gets in unattended.
Yeah. Xavier and I were just talking about Pete Hegseth right before I came to you. He reportedly warned Mexican officials that the United States could take military action if it doesn't deal with government and cartel collusion. Ron, how do you read that warning? Do you think that's military action within Mexico, just at the border on the U.S. side? What do you think that looks like?
I think it's a tough discussion that says, hey, we need to stop this problem. It will be in Mexico's interest to make this problem smaller, put these cartels back in their place. That will help Mexico. And so if we need to use military might to do that, Mexico has put troops on their northern border in order to help us. We've got troops deployed to obtain operational control. So is there a way for us to work together to put these cartels out of business?
Yeah, and speaking of the southern and northern border, President Trump's tariffs on Mexico, on Canada, set to go into effect tomorrow. He's hoping that this will help crack down on the levels of fentanyl being smuggled into the United States. Ron, do you see these tariffs also helping with the number of illegal crossings that we're seeing?
Well, the president's leadership like Kristi Noem, they've already gotten Mexico to do more than I've ever seen them do before. They have 10,000 National Guard troops pointed at this problem at the southwest border. They know fentanyl is a challenge because it emboldens cartels. It's a drag on their society, and we know the horrors of it in the United States. So they've leaned in, so has Canada, and so it remains to be seen whether they get straight on the economic procedures, what we're going to do on the border together. We have a shared responsibility for that line, and so it remains to be seen what the final decisions are on tariffs. But I can tell you that the Trump effect is in effect in a sense that people are doing what they hadn't done before, namely the countries of Mexico and Canada.
Mm-hmm. I know President Trump on Sunday posted that illegal border crossings were the lowest ever recorded last month. Can you expand a bit more on just what you're seeing in terms of crossings and which states or regions are still having the most gaps or problems when it comes to security?
Well, traffic is way down. Illegal people coming across the border illegally, the numbers are way down. We're seeing intelligence reports from our partners in the hemisphere that people are abandoning their trip into toward the United States. We see on social media people are reporting that they're going to self-deport. We have numbers of people who were let in under this fake parole scheme under the last administration who are electing to go back home. And so the traffic is way down. That gives men and women of the Border Patrol, our soldiers of the military, that gives us more capability on the line to protect, to understand, and to rescue people, frankly. And so all of the numbers are trending in the right direction. You're now allowing the Border Patrol agents to do their job. And it's about consequences. It's policies that say, if you come into the country illegally, we're going to arrest you, we're going to detain you, and we're going to remove you. No releases into the United States drives down traffic all by itself. And then you have the assistance of the Department of Justice, who's taking the cases that Border Patrol agents are making of people who continue to try and invade the country.
And lastly, and quickly too, what do you make of this new registry that the Trump administration is putting into place for illegal immigrants to come forward, give their names, their fingerprints, and be able to be tracked? Do you think that's actually going to work, Ron, or no? I can't imagine many of them who want to come forward and participate.
This is something that Secretary Noem has done, and it hits right down the pipe at common sense. This is the law in the United States, and so we're taking advantage of what Congress already did as it relates to authority on immigration and telling people if they're here, they can avoid a knock on the door, they can avoid criminal charges if they raise their hand and register.
I got to end it there, but Ron Vitello, as always, thank you, sir. Have a great Monday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.